Hey guys, it's a video about my equipment. What are the tools I'm working with? So it's a long time requested video, so I just took today some time to show you what am I usually using in my murals. This is a case with like what I gathered a few from my most used tools, but let me start with the most used one. I'll add a picture of my compressor. Some of my working videos probably I'll find one, and I'll show you what are the specifications there. But the most important tool is obviously the spray gun I'm using mostly. There is in some occasions also a airbrush I'm using for really fine details, but mostly if I need like to pick some edge or make a big of a hummingbird or something fine, or butterfly, antennas, I don't know, something like this, I'll use then most likely fine paintbrushes like this one, like this liner brush, or like, and right now I'm not talking about brands. If you want me to be more specific, I'll go and do more specific video, but for now I have that also squirrel hair, really tender hair and soft, for like when it gets wet. Let me show you just a second. So see how fluffy it is when it gets wet. Check that out. Come on, focus here. Okay, you see that? You see that edge? Wow, you can really make fine calligraphy with it. So I really like the wide range of opportunity that this kind of brush gives me, although it has its own limitations. Sometimes, like my best friend, when talking about this guy, because whenever you're mixing colors, you're constantly like will open the tank, like while it's filled with color, with paint, I'll usually use a fan brush, pour some water, some paint. Like, you're often asking me what kind of paint. Well, this is acrylic, water-based paints, different brands. If you again ask me which brand is the best, cannot tell that. Depends on your area and region where you're living, what you can find at a good prices. Experiment a little, but basically you will dilute them somewhere. Oh, you can do that in advance, but it's like lost battle. I'm mixing hundreds of times different colors, so I'll pour some of this bottle, some of this, and then some water, and then I'll go with the fan brush and really mix like this quickly, so that the solution might be homogeneous, like equally mixed with the water, and not like a piece of thick paint here and there. So once I do that, I will go and close it, and then the way it works, you know, here comes the air hose. Here you control the air stream that goes to the nozzle. Basically, you control from this valve the strength of the air pressure, and from this you control how far you can pull back the needle. Basically, this guy pulls the needle back, and here is the nozzle. So this nozzle from time to time needs to be unscrewed, and with a fine tools to be cleaned from the dried out paint. Like That's why I'm keeping here these tools of mine, like, I will show you, tools like this one, and just a second, and also like this guy here, you see? So I'll go and open it. It has this needle here, and go and directly in that nozzle. Then pour water in it, like we'll cut a little hole in the lid of a plastic mineral water bottle so that I can spray jet-like stream of water into it, and I can flush the nozzle. So basically that are my best friends. The bottle, the plastic bottle that I will flush with it, the needles, and a fan brush. Small like this one, or bigger like that one, yeah, that I showed you. You see, sometimes if I have a fine detail somewhere to paint, instead of going for a fine brush, I'll just tap the corner of the fan brush and I'll go with it, you know, make the fine lines. So that's like my multi-tool. Another brush that I built it by myself, this is a really heavy duty hairs from black wild boar, Chinese boar, and they're really, you can kind of brush hundreds of times towards edgy, hard stone surfaces. It will never wear out. I just cut this out of this brush of mine that I bought a long time ago for a certain project, and then made plenty of brushes, and I use them all for mixing because while I'm like mixing with such emotion the paint in the tank, in the spray gun, these single hairs, they will twist and squeeze and they will turn and brush there will be friction between each other, and that will contribute for the really nice mixing of the color of the paint. Okay, enough with these guys. For those that don't know how exactly you function this thing, because sometimes you may see me on my videos, like I'll go like I'll put my finger here and I'll spray a little bit. The first thing, when you push the trigger here, will start, the air will start running, and the second thing will be the needle going backwards and releasing space in between the nozzle opening and the needle for the paint from the tank, using the gravity pressure to drip. But because the air is coming out of this hole and around the nozzle, it will withdraw with even greater force the paint. Maybe I'll make a simple drawing. See that? How it's working. Okay, I will do like a little drawing graphic explaining how it works. Your quick connection is adding your air source, and here we go. Let's fill the tank with paint. Usually whenever you fill your tank, it will drain down this U connection or L connection to the point where the needle or the needle is blocking the little opening which leads to the tip of the nozzle. Let's paint the nozzle with a magenta color. So this is your nozzle. You can unscrew it in order to clean it, but now it's fixed. That's where it's placed. And now let's add the next element. Actually, air is coming through the handle. That's the airway in your spray gun. And let's say this valve there, it's restricting or letting the air flow in a greater way. I need a better color, something that will be more visible. So once you push the trigger backwards, the first stage of the trigger will trigger just the air. No paint will flow at that stage. Why? Because the spray gun is engineered to just trigger the air at that point, and the airflow will go surround the nozzle, and the low air pressure will withdraw, will suck out the paint once it's released from the needle. But the trigger, in order to release the needle, pull the needle back, the trigger should be at the second stage or a little bit further. You can feel like once you push it once slightly, you hear that psh sound, you know, that the air is coming out. But at that point, if it's really tender, no paint is coming out. And then once you go a bit harder with the trigger, the needle with the orange, I need a darker color to be visible. Okay, that's the position of the needle whenever it blocks the nozzle. You can see how the needle, it comes out a little bit from the nozzle. There is a spring over there which will bring your needle back once you let the trigger go. So now this is the position B of the needle. You can see how it is a little bit inside of the nozzle. At that point, the air that is going out of the nozzle, of the opening, the front end of the needle, will withdraw the paint, which is anyway already dripping because of the gravity that is pulling it down from the tank. And then once you press the trigger harder, then you have your paint mixed in a cloudy way like that with your airflow. That's the whole engine of the spray gun and how it's working basically. But basically that's the principle. So once you put your finger not straight to cover the hole, but if you put your finger really close and let the air, just the air and bit of the paint going, you'll feel that it will start bubbling in the tank. You'll feel that blah, 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 you know, and then you have a really nice mixture of the paint. That's one way some professional machines are mixing the paint for like car paint industry and so on. But I came up with it by experimenting, and it's really fine working for me. So this is called a K3 spray gun. It's really simple, it's really cheap, many places. Many of them are really low quality and cheap. You should add some kind of appendix here, quick connection according to your system of connecting with your air host in the country you're living. That's the standard here in Europe. So I'm using this kind, but usually from China they will come just with such there is Teflon tape here with such a screw, like I don't know which size, but they're kind of standard. You'll find your option in your local stores. So this is my most used tool. As I said, I'm using a wide range of paintbrushes. I can do dedicated video of that if you want, and I can show you the different ways I use them. if you request that. But another like very important guy is this guy. We're talking about a mask. Exactly what mask I will not advise you, because as far as you're going with a water-based paints, not acetone one, you don't even need the activated carbon as this one has. But it has really, there is some silicone here around the mouth elements. You should find the one that is fitting really good for your face. So sometimes I will mount my GoPro over here, like so, and while I'm painting, it will give a first-hand experience to the people that are watching the video, you know. There is different ways you can mount it with sticking tape or with some kind of attachment. Improvise. But mostly I'll hold it in my hand or just place it somewhere. Most often. That's Hero 4. I have another more GoPro right now, but because it has better stabilization than the other one. But as far as it's static, the video quality for this one and the time lapses are really good ones. So it's something that you can buy cheap now. But really, it's not the most important part of the equipment. It depends on how serious you're, you know, working towards your goals with YouTube. I don't know what else to show you. Just maybe this guy, this roller. Sometimes I will sew murals with varnish. So I will use one of these rollers to kind of, you know, finish touch my painting.